You're listening to Chameleon Church, biblical antidotes for the modern man. With your host, Allan Aguirre.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Allan Aguirre. I'm the host of the Chameleon Church Show. You're watching us live and direct. Well, you're watching me live and direct from the Wasatch Back, beautiful northern Utah. And you can watch here. Check this out. I have this stuff and I never use it. Oh, look, Allan Aguirre. And social media. Look at that. Oh, it's wrong. That's wrong. Social media. Oh my gosh, that's probably why I don't use them. I have to go through them. It's the Chameleon Church Show. You're catching us either on the Chameleon Church Facebook page. Be sure to like it and, whatever else you need to do on Facebook so that you will get reminders and alerts that we are literally going live or on the air. And if you're watching us on the Travelog Network, welcome. Be sure to like their social media, their Facebook page, as well as their YouTube. You can catch us on YouTube over at the Travelog Network, and be sure to subscribe to that and hit the bell so that you will be reminded also when we're coming to you live and direct on Tuesday mornings, 8:45 a.m. Central, here on the Google, on the interweb. Yeah. So it's weird though. Here's what they say. They say that that your highest spike of viewership will be on around the 17 or 18 minute mark. I don't know how they figured that out, but it's absolutely true because I get the stats. I look at the stats and we hit a peak at the 17 or 18 minute mark. And there are literally people out there that will run like a 10 to 12 minute intro, kind of like this. Watch. They'll do this. They'll play something like this for like 10 to 12 minutes while people gather. Our Monday night, we do a devotional every Monday night on the Exodus to Ingathering Facebook page, as well as Zoom. We've been doing it for, 65 weeks or something, every Monday evening. And we have a 5-minute intro that we launch right before the top of the hour. It's at 6 p.m. Central. And but there's people out there that will run 10 plus minutes and to get so that people will gather. So you watch, like right now, I have a timer. I have a little indicator here that there's 7 people watching. I'm not quite sure where they're watching from or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of the 3 platforms. I don't know. Anyway, it says there's 7 people watching, and at about 5 or 10 after, it'll be a lot higher than that. It's just weird how it all below. Oh, and we're losing people. Look at that. Yeah, and also be sure to like and comment. And it's the Chameleon Church Show. It's another Tuesday morning, and there's Lenny Perata. Sorry, I didn't give you a
morning.
How you doing?
Good.
What's going on? What's happening?
Oh boy, just still waiting for summer to hit.
Oh, it's hit here.
Yeah. Well, my gophers are out. My lawn is just covered this morning with gopher holes.
Oh.
They come back every spring and I have to chase them away.
Wow.
So
I'm
doing the Caddyshack chase.
Oh, wow. That's funny. Yeah, we're in full blown heat. We got a heat wave going on right now. In fact, I think the next 2 or 3 days is going to be like really, really, really hot. They gave us a warning and stuff. But
wow.
But yeah, so our week was interesting. We've had a crazy week since the last Tuesday morning.
Tell us about
108 degrees, Tim says, where he's at. Well, so we had all these people start coming in last week around this time for the wedding. We had the wedding on Saturday for our daughter, Safrain. And some of you met her on the Chameleon Church Show a couple weeks ago. So you heard her story about how her husband walked out on her about 4 years plus ago. And So she's been a single mom and all that. But anyway, so all these people show up, and friends and family, they're driving in, they're flying in. Friday, everyone's, then it was, yeah. So it was a good turnout. I was asked last night about photos. Why I haven't posted anything. My phone was being used to play the music, and so I'd never had a phone on me at all. And so because I didn't have my phone, I didn't take any pictures or any video, and so I have nothing. All I have is what you have. There's a hashtag. What's it called? Happily Ever Walker or Walkers. They use both hashtags. Well, it's not an exclusive hashtag. Other people are using it, but you'll obviously know it's my daughter and Joseph if you know what my daughter looks like. And so there are some pictures on the internet with that hashtag, Instagram, Facebook, and you might catch a video or a picture of me in my kilt. I was looking good, and I have no pictures.
Yeah.
And it was warm, and there was a bunch of people, a massive diversity of humanity. We're talking, you name it. I mean, there was Christians of every denomination here. I did hear somebody say he was a Torah observer. He eats clean, and I know, and I actually heard him say, I love it. I love going to your parties, so I don't have to worry about what I'm eating. I heard he wasn't talking to me, but I overheard that. It's like that was fun.
No pepperoni.
Right. What are those things? Where you have meats and cheese and all. What those boards?
Meat platters.
But they're called boards. Something boards.
Charcuteries.
Right. So we had about 4 or 5 of those, and I mean with all sorts of meats and cheeses and nuts, and I mean it was really well done. And I think Safrain actually made those herself the night before. It was pretty crazy. But they were, yeah. So I was at that charcuterie table, and I overheard that. They were like, they could eat freely without worrying about what is that? Is that clean or unclean, So I heard that. So that was fun to hear. What else did I hear? The groomsmen. So they're all Christians, right? And they all come from different, various denominational backgrounds and all that. And they were bringing, they were asking questions, and I'm answering the questions, and I'm trying to be, nice about it, because I'm not, I don't want to upset the groomsmen. I don't know these guys, but it was funny because Joseph shared an anecdote. He was talking about, one of the first, the first time we met was at a dinner. We had dinner, and I brought up eating clean, and you explained it to me. And then I proceeded to order, what was it? Something with shrimp, and he didn't realize it until afterward, right? And I go, well, that was your first dinner with us, Well, when he met Christina and I, and he ends up ordering shrimp, and so I asked him, I go, did we judge you? And he goes, not at all. I go, of course not. And then I was able to explain, I really believe that salvation is a spiritual gift. It's a spiritual revelation. Salvation is, I can preach all day long. I can heal you. I can have words of wisdom, words of discernment. You know what I'm saying? I can cast demons out of you. We can do all that stuff. But until God goes ding and you come to the revelation of your need for Messiah, because God draws men unto himself, that's why I believe it's a spiritual revelation. I go in the same way. Charismatica, being baptized in the Holy Spirit. Everybody says they're baptized in the Holy Spirit, but only what? What percentage of us are actually speaking in tongues, healing the sick, casting out demons, raising the dead, whatever, prophesying? It's less than 20% of the church. It's maybe 5 to 10%. Again, that also is a spiritual revelation. It's one thing to say you're baptized with the Holy Spirit. It's another to actually be walking and functioning in the transformative giftings that Jesus said were how we were to go out and evangelize. We were to when you go heal the sick, heal them from unclean spirits, cast out their demons, raise their dead. Jesus said that. So he told us to do that.
Listen to this, Alan. Here's a spin on what Jesus said. Remember when he said, Depart from me, you workers of iniquity, because they said that we cast out demons, we fed the poor, we prophesied.
Yeah.
Could it be that it was a name only? It's not just those who might have had that power, but what about all those that say, yeah, I'm charismatic? And he says, I never knew you. Think about that. No one ever goes to that side of it.
Yeah, you're right about that. And that's a good example, because the Vineyard Church we went to in Texas, it's not that they didn't believe in speaking in tongues. Oh, we believe in speaking in tongues, but no one spoke in tongues.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the same as not believing in it. You know, I believe that if I jump into that car and start the engine and push down the accelerator, I'll drive. But I'm never going to get into the car, turn on the engine, and try to drive it. So no, I don't drive. Oh no, I drive. I have the keys and I have a car, but I don't drive. No, it doesn't work that way. Are you actually functioning in the required gifts of the Spirit that Jesus and the writers of the New Testament echoed that we are supposed to be functioning in? So anyway, I explained to them how that also is a spiritual gift. And then I go, and in the same way, when it comes to keeping the commandments, the Torah, when it comes to eating clean, wearing tassels, keeping the feast, keeping God's Sabbath, that's a spiritual revelation. And then one of the guys goes, well, da-da-da. I'm like, I know where you're going, and you're going to incriminate yourself. He goes, no, well, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that. And I go, well, first of all, you're going to go to Acts 10, aren't you? He goes, yeah. And I go, yeah. He goes, and you're going to say it's about Gentiles. I'm like, because that's what it says. That's why I'm going to say that. It never says it's about food. So we went through that. And so when he said goodbye to me, a couple of days later, when he said goodbye to me, he goes, can I at least eat turkey bacon? I go, yeah, but beef bacon's better. So we had that going on. We had pagans here that could, you were at Safrain's first wedding.
Yeah.
You officiated.
Yeah.
Right. That was a spectacle to behold, that wedding.
It was wild.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
It was amazing. That hoopah and inside the lights and everything you did was unbelievable.
Yeah. So her first wedding was done in a nightclub that we basically took over for a day and a night. And it was intense, man. It was intense. It was like I said, it was a spectacle. It was like a tea party, like Alice in Wonderland tea party theme. So there was people in costumes. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing. And here's the amazing part about it. She organized and designed, and she did all of that from the back of a tour bus while on tour. Because we were literally on tour 6, maybe 8 months that year. And she'd figured all that stuff out while on tour in the back of a tour bus. I don't know how she pulled it off, but she did. Anyway, here's my point. My cousin, whose father was an apostle, who I lived with, who I was raised under, at his feet, blah, 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 came up to me because it was when the hoopah, when everybody came under the hoopah and the three sisters sang "How Great Thou Art."
Yep.
That was crazy. Well, my own cousin who lived in Guatemala with me came up and goes, "What the heck happened, man? What did I just experience?" And I had to tell him, remember that Jesus you used to believe in some 30 years ago to whatever degree? Yeah, that's what that was. We had backslidden as well as Christians, saved Christians, as well as pagans come up to us and came up to me and asked me, what did I experience? What was that? What just happened there? What was that just happened? And we got to tell them about Jesus. Well, the same thing happened this weekend, because here's what happened this weekend. It was a spiritual transference of spiritual authority. Right? Yeah. I mean, she's been divorced. She's been divorced for almost 4 years. He left 4 years ago, 4+ years ago. So she's been under our covering. But this was a transference from because there's children involved. There's 3 children involved, and they were involved, and it was really emotional for them, because here's the biggest thing, the biggest emotional aspect of it for Julian was this is proof positive, because he's been holding out for 4 years, hoping that his mom and dad get back together again. Poor little guy. He knew that this wedding marked that will never ever happen. He's been holding out for 4 years for that to happen. This was telling him this was the sign, and he knew that this was a sign that said this will never happen. They will never get back together again. Now, as much as he understood that this was a good thing, and Joseph being in their life is a good thing, and how that's all played out, because it's been really rad to watch that happen. And they love Joseph, and Joseph loves them. As much as he knows that that's a good thing, he still had to deal with the emotions that my mom and dad will never get together again. So there's children involved. There was this transference of spiritual authority, and it was evident, and it was thick. It was so thick, this transference. And I even said, look, when I brought up Boaz, because we had to bring up the Boaz thing. Yeah. I had to bring up Boaz and the kinsman redeemer and redemption and blah, and how we prayed, and we've been praying this, and this is what this meant. Boaz is the kinsman. He's redeeming the line of Naomi through a Moabite woman. And I go, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, please be sure to if you don't understand what's going on here, this is what's happening. This is a transference of spiritual authority.
Weddings are the best way to preach the gospel, I think. Yeah, they're incredible. That and funerals, but weddings are incredible.
So I got to spend the rest of the wedding ceremony, the rest of the wedding and the reception. People would come pop up and ask little one-liner questions, being real, asking about it. And I bring that again. We had pagans, we had Buddhists, we had Mormons, we had ex-Mormons, we had people of alternative sexual lifestyles. I mean, you name it, we had it, because that's what we do. That's how we roll.
That sounds like the kind of feast that the Lord would throw. Really,
exactly.
He'd go out to the streets. Everybody can come.
Those that were invited didn't come, so we went to the highways, byways, and alleyways. Right?
Right.
Is that what it says? It's exactly what it says. Yeah, I'm gonna turn on my light, because we got some nice cloud cover right now. Hold on. Yeah, but and if people know us, people know that that's what we do, and that's how we do it. Like, I got some sunburn. Look at that.
Jeez. Well, you know what? Eating clean is probably one of the last things to go. It always is. Never fails.
So it was quite the. So we did. So that was Saturday, and it went on till about 10 o'clock. We were very polite to our neighbors, because it was in our backyard, and we shut it down. Because we had music going and dancing and a little dance floor, and yeah.
What a week.
Yeah, and then people started leaving on Sunday, and we had a house full. And so I mentioned last night how I haven't slept in my own bed. So what I meant by that is, so we've got a couple spare rooms, a couple of guest rooms and whatever, but we had all the grandkids here. We had all 4 grandkids here, and they love sleeping in our big old honking, what is it, a California king or queen, whatever, the big bed. So all the little grandkids love sleeping in that bed. And so to accommodate my wife, I don't sleep in it when it's full of kids, because it drives her up the wall, because she wants her. There's a great commercial for a mattress company, and they buy, the wife's in the bed all by herself. She's like all sprawled out. She's got the whole bed, and the husband walks in all, with a mohawk, dressed up like a punk rocker. He goes, "Honey, I got the band back together again." She goes, "Oh, that's nice." He goes, "And so we're going to go on tour." She goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good idea." And he goes, "Can I take the minivan?" And she goes, "Yeah." So because now she gets the bed all to herself. Like he's leaving, and I'm like, oh my god, that's us, right? So that's why I haven't slept in my bed since, I don't know, Thursday or something like that. We've had all the grandkids here, and they're all in my bed. So I get my bed tonight. Yeah, I'll be sleeping in my bed tonight. Yeah.
You know, me and Linda were reminded to pray for the kids. That's one of the things we just did this last week.
Yeah.
Because that always is a hard transition.
Yeah.
And Julian's, boy, he's smart. He's really smart.
So Julian gave a toast. I know somebody has it on video. Oh my gosh.
Was it brilliant?
He put every man that was there to shame.
Amazing.
They were, you know, what came out of this little guy's mouth and his heart was so quickening.
Wow.
To every man in that that heard him. It was like you could hear a pin drop. You could tell the kid was speaking from a place that we all need to be listening to and be aware and attentive to. And yeah, it was pretty intense. I mean, it was intense, and he's crying through the whole thing, you know. And half of it was speaking to Joseph. It was insane, man. It was insane. I was with a friend of ours and his lover, you know, and so I had one eye on him, wondering, you know, watching his reaction. And
wow,
you know, and this is the first time I've thought of it, because it's Tuesday. It just happened, and it's been a whirlwind. But you know what? This weekend, somebody mentioned, it was one of the groomsmen or somebody mentioned that, wow, I've been hanging out with this family for the last 3 days, and I've seen something I've never seen before. You know, these people literally actually practice what they preach. So, and again, we've heard this for decades, how, you know, somehow, for some reason, somehow, some way, my wife and I, our marriage and our family, and it is less than perfect. Oh my God, believe you me. But for some reason, people like go, wow, this is like an example or whatever. I don't know how that translates, because it's oh my gosh. But I haven't thought of this until just now, and that's not only did we hear that testimony once again over the weekend by someone we didn't know who has been watching us for the last 2 or 3 days, how, you know, we literally do practice what we preach, and we exemplify all that. But with what Julian said, absolutely screams Deuteronomy 6. You, your son, and your son's son. I just had my grandson. He'll be 11 at July 31st. So he's 10 years old.
Well, you know, it speaks to the fact that he knows that Yahweh is his father. Yeah. He knows his father. And that is a testimony to you and Christina and to Safrain.
Yeah.
That as much as he loves his dad, which he should, he knows his father in heaven. So even in that broken heart, God's comforting him. And the reality is that he's a man. He is a man of God. Just thinking about that.
Yeah. It's it was wild to see, man. You know, it was wild to see this little kid just own it. And every man that was watching him and just going, and they're eating up his words and the heart and the spirit that he was speaking. It was a trip, dude. It was a crazy trip. Somebody actually said, "Oh, you got a preacher there." You know, I'm like, well, that's kind of like cheapening it, but no, it's more than that. We have a prophetic voice there, is what it is. Yeah, it was a trip, man. It was a trip.
Wow.
It's a trip. What else?
That's
Yeah, we had a taco. What is a food truck?
yeah.
Taco food truck. Oh, that was funny. So
That's the way to go.
yeah, we
That's
have a
the way to go.
really long driveway. Where you can park all your trailers and your campers and all that. So they have a big truck, one of those big Texas do-what trucks with a taco trailer in the right. So it wasn't a truck, like a food truck, but it was a food trailer. They couldn't back it up. My wife had to go out there and go, "Do you want me to do that for you?" Because she was like, they're about to hit our garage, and I'm like, "Oh man!" And she she backed it up, and a bunch of people saw it, and they were like, "Oh my god, the mother of the bride just backed up that whole truck and trailer." And I'm like, that's what 30 plus years of touring will do for you. It's
That's
just
funny.
people must think we're a freaking sideshow, man. I'm running around in a kilt. My wife's backing up freaking food truck trailers. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we must be a sideshow. Got to be a trip, right?
Yeah. Was it a local truck from Heber?
Yeah. It's a local around here from somewhere. Yeah, around from somewhere around here. Yeah. So we had So we had the tacos. It was unlimited, all you can eat, carne asada and chicken tacos. It is, right, Steve? That's
Yeah.
so Aguirre. Here, let me move your do-what truck for you. Let me back that trailer up for you. Those of you that don't know, Steve Pinder and I have known each other for quite a long time. We've done business together. We've done ministry together. I don't know what haven't we done together, Mr. Pinder, with your little finger. Remember that, Steve? Yeah. Um, um, yeah. So all you can eat, unlimited, unlimited. Carne asada and chicken tacos. And they had something that was very. I'm like, why do you have this? Because it was very Israeli. They had all this chopped up cucumber, and I'm like, I love that because it's I think that's the only thing, that and the hard boiled eggs was the only thing I could eat when I was in the Galilee. I don't eat Middle Eastern food. I don't like all that stuff. But yeah, so we had all you can eat taco, and then we had a dessert place. They set up a little stand, and they had it was like ice cream with like all these different cookies, all these desserts. Yeah, it was I don't know how they pulled it off, but if you saw the pictures of the backyard looked amazing. We have a really big backyard, and it looked even bigger. And some of our neighbors showed up so what we did is we went around and invited neighbors to the reception, and if they wanted to come, they could. Because we told them, hey, this is what we're doing. There's going to be a bunch of people. We apologize in advance, so you can come if you'd like for dessert to the reception, or please accept this red box code and this popcorn and have a nice evening at home. So no complaints, no cops. Unlike
That's the way to
Shondel's
go.
wedding, Steve Pinder mentioned earlier that he's got a picture of me and a police lady talking because we had cops called on us at Shondel's wedding, and I had to deal with that. That was our week, and so as of today, my daughter and her son, her husband, and our baby granddaughter, 2.5-year-old little Eliora, they left this morning. They're driving back to Dallas. My in-laws are driving back they're going to Colorado. They're actually doing a road trip. My in-laws, and can you believe, man, my father-in-law is 80 years old, dude.
Yikes.
I met that guy in 1980. I've known that guy a long time. And he's still kicking, man. We had our kayaks out on the lake yesterday. We took all the kids to the lake yesterday. We spent the day at the lake. That's why you see all this red. It's not because I've been drinking, people. He got out there on the kayak, man. He's still active. He did quit playing basketball about 3 or 4 years ago. He's been playing basketball his whole life. Yeah, 80 years old and still going, still work, yeah.
Jeez.
And so they drove out this morning, and my mom, she's flying out today, so she's on her way to the airport now. So by tonight, it'll be almost back to normal. Crazy week, and Safran and Joseph are out and about somewhere in Boston, having a good time. guess they went to a Red Sox game last night. And she's like, whoever thought I'd go to a baseball game on my honeymoon? That is not an Aguirre thing, but apparently it's a Walker thing. And I'm like, man, he's got to be excited. She goes, yeah, he's really excited.
Boston, boy, they have some of the best food too.
I've only been one time. I could never understand that. And I finally got to Boston a few years ago, and I was just, because I've been a history buff my whole life. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, the Sons of Freedom. Yeah. Wow. No, the Sons of Liberty. Amazing. These guys.
I've been there a few times. The market and just all the sites, everything you can see. Unbelievable. We even went to Martha's Vineyard.
I was surprised at how small it was, Boston proper. It's tiny.
Yeah. It's all concentrated.
All right, you talk now. You say something. I've been talking. I've been talking a lot here.
Well, now that all the excitement's over, what we get to face is Tammuz. The thing that we need to prep the people for.
Oh man, we hard coded it into our calendar.
Yes.
So yeah, if you don't have our calendar, we actually have go to planetbluemedia.com and just look around. All right, do yourself a favor. And we have an amazing 66-week calendar planner, and it goes through April of next year. So it's not like, oh, the year's almost done. It's only a 6-month calendar. No, it's 66 week, not 52. It goes past December 31st, because this is based on God's calendar, biblical calendar, not the Gregorian. Now, the Gregorian is in here, obviously, because that's what we use, but we also have in here the biblical dates and all that. Anyway, what Lenny is talking about is, what month are we on? Oh, look at it. I've been so busy. I'm not even up to date here. I was so busy, I totally forgot to actually create today's show until this morning.
What reminded me was last night, I go, if there's any month in the next 2 months that we need to understand what spiritual authority is and be under spiritual authority, it's these months.
Wow. You know what? I've never really done this before, but on the Chameleon Church show, but like every Monday night, we do a weekly devotional from our Exodus to Ingathering devotional series, the Field Manual series. And so we are on our second book. We're done with this one. But I mean, you can read this anytime and in any order. It's not dated, and it's not like, you can read this for the rest of your life as well. So last night we were talking about budding staffs of spiritual authority, or something like that is what we called it. And it was about, after the rebellion of Korah, God has Moses round up a staff for each head of father's house. So there's going to be one for each tribe. There's going to be 12 staffs. And the one that God chooses, the man of that staff, we're going to, once and for all, God basically says, once and for all, I'm going to prove to you who's in charge here, so as to shut the mouths of the rebellious, lest they die. He's tired of these people, Israel. He's tired of the children of Israel constantly complaining about Moses and Aaron and constantly trying to usurp their authority. God's like, I'm done with this. So once and for all. And so anyway, we talked about that. And then we talked about spiritual authority. So go to Exodus to Ingathering, either the Facebook page or E2I series YouTube, and go watch what it is. Go watch last night's devotional, and then buy the devotionals and join us Monday nights. So this is what Lenny's talking about. In the month of June, right here, this is where we're at. We just entered. Oh yeah, so Friday night was the visible crescent. We saw, so it's the new moon of the fourth month, the biblical month, the fourth biblical month. The Babylonian name of this month is Tammuz, which is a pagan god. Yay, Babylon. And so thank you for everyone that sent in their first fruits offerings. And thank you for those that are still, gathering them and sending them in. It just happened. Today's Tuesday and the new moon was Friday night. So thank you. We really do appreciate the support of the ministry. So anyway, so in our calendar, see, blum, 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 we have on the margins, on the monthly margins, and we have a 2-page month view and a 2-page week view. So any projected dates based on the biblical calendar we have up there to help you keep track of what's going on. And we debated whether we should do this or not because we've never done it before, and we opted to go with it. So what we've done is we hard-coded the dates based on the fixed calendar, which is usually a day or two off from the new moon. Either way, we're all going to be okay. For all you legalists out there, that don't be afraid. There's this thing called the season of the basilisk, and it's going to begin the 27th. That's the projected date, the 27th, which is the 17th of Tammuz. So on or around, see, I haven't even gone in here and filled in the actual dates. So Chandel's birthday, Saf's wedding was Saturday. So Saturday, the 12th of June is the first day of the month. So let me just write one down there because I haven't done that yet. So what we do is when you see the visible crescent, which was Friday night, the 11th, we have space next to the Gregorian date of June 12th, where you can write down the number of the month of the day, biblical day. So that's 01. And that means the 13th is 02, 03, the 14th, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 1 moment, 09, 10, 11, 12, 13. The 25th of June is the 14th, 15th, 16th, and then the 28th, Monday, is the 17th of Tammuz. We have the 27th down here, but that's all right. Not everyone relax. So, on Monday, June 28th, it will be the 7th. Oh my gosh, we have a student. What the heck? I think we have a student driver trying to parallel park in my front yard using my van as the car to parallel park behind.
Yikes.
This is live. Last night, I saw my wife's Chihuahua running down the street live last night. And I'm like, Alyssa, who's in the other room, can you go save the dog? Yeah, well, they did it. They parked it. They did actually a good job. Man, this stuff that. Anyway, so Monday, June 28th, will be the 17th of Tammuz, which begins what is known as the spirit of the basilisk. Or I'm sorry, the season of the basilisk. And so what we should probably do is on Tuesday, the 22nd, there they go. They didn't hit my car. You're welcome. So what we should do is Tuesday, the 22nd, we should have a little chat about that. What do you think, Lenny?
I think we should.
And
It's the day that Moses broke the tablets and they erected the golden calf, and it's a bunch of stuff spiritually attached to that.
Yeah. Teach
Definitely.
on basilisk. See, I'm using my calendar. Chameleon Church Show for Tuesday, the 22nd. We are going to teach on the basilisk. And so, Lenny, you have a couple weeks to get that teaching ready.
There you go. You have some of the best teaching on it, I've heard. So.
Well, I'll be here. I'll back you up.
Yeah, we'll go back and forth.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Both Torah observant, and a lot of the Christian church understands that season.
Yeah.
Different circles of the Christian church, the prophetic side.
Yeah. And I'll give you, and I'll share my testimony on how I came to understanding and knowing about this, and it's a real thing. Here's the thing I tell Christians, man: whether or not you believe what we're talking about really doesn't matter. It has no relevance in any reality. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it's not happening. Doesn't mean it's not going on. If you don't believe in the spirit of prophecy, it doesn't mean prophecy doesn't exist or that there are vetted prophets out there. You know what I mean? Just because you don't believe that there was prophecies 8 to 12 years before it actually happened, a Trump presidency, doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just because you don't believe in speaking in tongues doesn't mean it's not real. Just because you don't believe in healing the sick or casting out demons doesn't make it unreal. In the same way, the fool says in his heart there is no God doesn't mean there is no Elohim in Israel.
There's a proverb, let God be true and every man a liar.
Yep. And just because you might not understand what it is that we're going to talk about in 2 weeks about the season of the basilisk doesn't actually mean it doesn't happen. Wow, that's a little weird, Alan. You're talking about yeah, well, you know what's even weirder? You believe in a dead carpenter that rose from the dead. You don't think that's weird? That's pretty freaking weird. Why is that normal? Why have you normalized that? But the rest of spirituality isn't. See, yeah. Hello, McFly. That just doesn't make sense. Hey, Lenny, I don't need your help. I can trigger myself.
That was good. Classic. That was good.
Oh my gosh. I was literally told, because I make a joke, when I'm like, if I'm upset with my wife, I'll go, marriage. Remember that from Princess Bride? So I was literally told, don't say that, because I was officiating, and I said it. So I'm about to read something that they gave. They gave me a script. They had to give me a script. They were like, "We don't trust you. You can't wing this, because you'll just, don't do that, please." And so I said something about marriage, and I went marriage, and I looked up, and I go marriage, and Safrain looked at me, and that's when I realized, oh crap, you told me not to do that, and I just did it. Marriage. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a trip. Season of the Basilisk is coming up in a couple weeks or so, 3 weeks, and we will talk to you about it. We will teach on that. We have it in our calendar, and it's a 3-week period of time. It begins on the 17th of Tammuz, or the 17th of the 4th month, and it ends on the 9th of Av. The same day that both temples were destroyed. Every good Jew knows that God destroyed the first temple on the 9th of Av because of disobedience. Every good Jew knows that the second temple was destroyed on the same exact day, the 9th of Av, centuries later. But they're not really necessarily quite sure why. Well, we do. They massacred, they slaughtered Messiah like 30 years prior to that. Yeah, they don't connect the dots. Just like a lot of Jews don't connect the dots that Feast of Trumpets is a memorial for the trumpet, the shofar of God on Mount Sinai, because they don't want to remember that, because they balk at his ketubah. They balked at his wedding, his proposal of marriage at Sinai. No one wants to remember that. So let's change it for a new year with honey and apples. Kind of like, Christmas and Easter. Exactly like Christmas and Easter. Where do you think we got our perversions? It's the same spirit of perversion. Ugh. I told you not to trigger me, Lenny.
It's okay. I mean, right now Israel's upside down. Netanyahu's out. And some are prophesying that he'll get back in there. We'll see.
We'll see.
But it's kind of crazy right now.
Yeah.
The world, all the gaffes that Biden made. Oh my gosh! At the G7, he froze 3 different times, and they're just highlighting it. Not regular news, but Fox is funny.
You get what we get what they voted for.
You got it. You got it. We'll see. May 2022. We're gonna pull it out. You watch what happens.
Have you stolen anything recently and covered it up? I don't know, like croissants or croutons at a salad bar, or no? Lenny?
What? I'm reading some stuff over here on the right hand side.
Yes.
No, I haven't stolen anything.
That's
not
good.
lately.
Thou shalt not steal. What number commandment is that? It's in there. It's in there somewhere.
There it is.
Oh man. What else is going on? Man, I've been in a whirlwind. I am sleep deprived. My voice is hoarse.
Right now, all the just on the national front, the Russians and the Chinese are making a laughing stock out of this presidency right now, because he said he's talking tough, and he gave the farm away to Russia with the pipeline, closed down ours. China, even though the news is trying to put the whole COVID thing on them, they're just laughing it off because no one's following through. So it's all of it is rhetoric right now, just a lot of rhetoric.
Wow.
But you know what? It's obvious to the American people. Lance Wallnau said, that 70 million has grown to about 150 million now that know what's going on, and they're not dumb, and they're just biding their time.
I know Lance has been very active recently.
Unbelievable. Mr. Paul, he was on the healing rooms. Wes Campbell just he made it on there, and it was interesting. He did a whole thing out of Daniel on the healing rooms and putting it in the same context of what we just taught about. And it was interesting. I found it really fascinating.
I saw over the weekend he did a string of Instagram stories talking major smack, man. Like just talking smack. Good smack, like truth. Yeah. And I've been so busy, I haven't been able to even keep up. But yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
He's getting around.
Yeah.
He really is.
Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever platform you're on. Don't forget to do the social media stuff. My son's always, did you do that? Did you tell him to like it? Did you tell him to subscribe? So I'm telling you now, do it. So I can tell him, yeah. Help with the algorithms and the numbers, and if you believe that what we're talking about is relevant, important, of the Spirit of God, then share, like, subscribe, buy some books, help spread the love. We need to do some sort of referral program where people can buy books at a discount, especially since they're going to go give them away to people. They're great tools and great resources. Well, we think so anyway. Oh my gosh.
The calendar's the best. My gosh, I'm using that day and night.
Awesome.
That just,
I think it's a great resource. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm using it more this year than I ever. It's just really.
Oh, cool. Alyssa's going to be compiling the next one, so we can get that out by August, September latest, for the Rude Awakening in October. That's coming out. Okay, see you later. Lenny just left. Hey, Lenny, what are you going to do? Are you going to do something? Are you going to do something so I can go get some more coffee? Where's the rabbi when you need him? Well, did I just say that? I just said that out loud.
I just had to let my dog out. He's with me in here. So
Did you hear what I
go ahead,
said?
go get some coffee.
All right. Hey, it's the Lenny Show.
There you go.
Here we go. Ready?
Ready.
3, 2.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. One of the things that we're going to be looking at, we just finished Daniel, and for the branch of Forerunner Ministry, we're going to highlight Matthew 24, but we're going to be doing highlights of Zechariah and Obadiah and some Old Testament prophets that speak to not only his coming, but when he does land here on the planet and what goes on. There's some excellent materials out there by Joel Richardson right now. I really recommend you to get his book on Sinai. It's just fascinating. So we're going to be highlighting some of that stuff. So, and you can also catch our whole Daniel series on YouTube, the Branch Forerunner Ministry. But one of the things we're looking at right now, this lull of what's going on, just the laughing stock that's being made, this is all a setup. And one of the things that came to my mind is that with the midterm elections coming up, and if we look at the political side of this, I think we still, one of my prayers is that we get back in there to the point that we can pull our country out to become one of those sheep nations, because he's going to judge the goat and the sheep nations. And the way we have been going, we're one big nanny goat. And I think he still has us, and we have to fight for that. You know, one of the things that people don't realize in the book of Revelation is that the prayers of the saints that go up before the Lord, those aren't the saints that have been martyred. Those are the saints that are alive, that he gives them the power to call the judgments down from heaven. So if we're going to be used to that extent with the angelic during what Revelation 6 and 7 says, what are we doing with it now? We have that authority in intercession and the prophetic to change things, and we can't forget that. They always try to bypass that, but I want to say very, very clearly is that we have spiritual authority if we walk in those places of obedience, and really, really important.
Good stuff.
So, Alan, are you ready? All warmed up with some coffee now?
I got some, yeah. And so, like I showed last week, I've got my new white on black Rude Awakening mug. I usually have my white one that I've been drinking out of for the last 2 years, and I've been wanting one of these. And I got one last time I was there. Oh, when was I there? Like 2 weeks ago or something?
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff. Whew, man, time's flying by. Hey, guess your old friend, your old Utah friend, Robert Redford. You know
What's he up to?
he sold Sundance.
He did?
After 50 years, his family sold Sundance Resort to about 2 or 3 different conglomerations. Very earth preservation. What are they called when very
Eco-friendly?
yeah, all that,
Yeah.
to help preserve and maintain the preservation of Sundance. They don't want to see it get parceled out into, whatever. And they've given, I don't know how many acreage to be like natural habitats, protected lands.
BLM?
Yeah, so they sold, not BLM, but protected,
Oh, okay.
privately owned, protected. But anyway, so he did, after 50 years, he sold Sundance.
It had to be a whole draining him of finances. It had to.
I have no idea. All I know is that was last year. Well, guess what I saw yesterday? He's selling his 30-acre horse ranch, which is right there on the Deer Creek and Provo River. And it's like for his horses. He barely has like a 1,200 square foot farmhouse on the property. The 30 acres are for his horses to roam freely.
Wow. What about his franchise with the Sundance Corporation? Is he
He's still there.
part of
He's-
that?
yeah. So this is called it's another one of his movies, his ranch. I forgot what it's called. It's not I forgot what it is. It's based on one of his movies. But anyway,
Horse Whisperer.
Horse Whisper Ranch. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it actually is. So he's got a 30-acre horse ranch that's literally touches the Deer Creek, the lake, and the Provo River right over there in Charleston. A mere 4 point something.
Wow.
And speaking of your friend Robert Redford, guess who called me to do some fly fish guiding for them the next 3 days?
Wow. The Sundance people, huh?
Yeah. So tomorrow, it'll delay my 2-minute warning for the next couple days, but I'm sorry. But yeah, tomorrow and Thursday morning I will be, and Friday afternoon I will be guiding for the resort.
So, what part of the Provo are you on? Right
I don't
now?
know. I usually bring them up here, not the lower, but up to the middle, simply because I know it really well, and it's always it not only does it make Sundance Resort look good, but it makes me look good as an independent guy.
Do you ever go above Jordanelle?
No, it's private property until you get way up there, and when you get way up there, there's no real fishing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so it makes Sundance Resort looks really good, and it makes me look really good as an independent when you put clients on 18-inch, 20-inch trout. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do they give you a little jacket that says Sundance on it?
No, but I have a nice little shirt that says Sundance on it.
Oh, that's nice.
But how cool is that, right? So that's awesome. It's good. It's good.
It really is.
I'm excited. I you know what? I could really use a couple, 2 or 3. They're half days, so it's not like I'm gone all day long, right? I could use a couple half days on the water just to Fubar. What is that? I can never remember it. It's from
Chill.
Babe. Remember Babe when Babe was talking to the lambs, the sheep? Fubar, whatever is it? I can never remember it. Come on, somebody out there in comment land.
Yeah, well, you still got little ones, so you're probably well versed in that. I'm a little removed from that.
What do you mean? I watch Babe all the time.
I know. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
My little guys are into Bakugan and all that kind of stuff.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it's little robots.
Oh. Yeah. Apparently, the sheep have a secret word that you can use, and they'll obey you. And it's "foo by you" or something like that. I don't know. Look at we're losing people like flies.
You could translate that into a church thing. You know that. Secret little word.
I'm sure it's been
Can
done.
you say that? Make the little lambs fall in line.
Oh my gosh. You know what? You know what we need to give? You know what? You know how cats have catnip? We need sheep nip. Let's go package some sheep nip and sell it to the masses. This will get you closer to God and make your pastor proud. Sheep nip. Get in line. Oh my gosh.
All things woke.
There's no one's commenting. I think we've been abandoned. This show's going downhill. Don't forget, Tim prophesied, people come for me, but they stay for the rabbi. There ain't no rabbi anymore.
There ain't no rabbi anymore. That's right.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's the second time I've brought him up today. Sorry, I apologize. You gotta be you're killing me, Alan. Look at that. You're killing me, Schmiles. Isn't that what his name? Schmiles, whatever. Hook. There's another movie. All right, we gotta stop with the kids' movies. Oh man.
Oh boy.
Oh man. Go Fabra. Is that it? Then what am I thinking of? Foo by you. Isn't that another one from another movie or something? where you like center yourself with a foo by you. And somebody just watched that 3-second clip and saw me and heard me say center myself while I did this, and they're thinking we're all new agey now. Oh man, Baram you. There you go. So it's Go Fa Bra, Bamra you, and Kumbaya. Sheep nip. We have 3 flavors of sheep nip. Somebody needs to write this down. We have 3 flavors of sheep nip: Go Fa Bra, Ba Ram Yu, and Kumbaya. Available at the Planet Blue Media Store. Oh my gosh.
There you go. What tongue is? Oh, never. I shouldn't say that.
Whoa, no.
Nah, I don't want to go there.
See, pastor, you can't trust these pastors, man.
I know, man.
They drive like psychopaths, park wherever they want, and they do that. Where are you? You're over there.
Oh boy.
Kind of a pay cut from doing Incorruptible, I guess. What are we talking about?
Crazy stuff. Good stuff.
Your breed, your fleece, your clan be true. Sheep be true. Meh. That's awesome, Marie. Oh my gosh. Look at that. See, she even did the ba. That's awesome. Oh, where's Aspen? She remembers something Ari told us to do. Like, see you later, alligator, something like that. He had a one-liner that we used on the show once. Oh, look at this. Numbers are just plummeting. I'm just kidding. Come on, don't get serious. I'm just teasing about the numbers. I don't do this for the numbers. I don't know how I'm going to get a plane, but I don't do this for the numbers. Oh my gosh. So, Lenny.
Go ahead.
I have nothing. I'm surprised I've gotten this far. Whew. I need to get a nap. I need to write. Oh, I am so behind in my writing. Everything is just, there's just so much going on.
I want to refer to last night's spiritual authority.
Okay, go ahead.
Boy, I'll tell you, if that with the discernment behind it has got to be the chief thing that the body of Messiah needs to learn to navigate what's coming. Right there. I mean, that's called righteousness. That's what righteousness is. It was the fact that Korah could not understand the authority that Moses was in under Yahweh. And he had no faith. He had no faith in what not only was lived out, but any understanding of Torah, even though it wasn't complete by then. But they knew his ways, and there was no faith. And we know the phraseology, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by Torah, by observing, by listening to it. And that's an area that you say that word, it can mean so many different things in modern Christianity. But when you look at faith, when you look at what it really takes to believe the Torah and everything he said, and how it is Messiah, the living Torah, the church is clueless, totally clueless on that.
Yeah.
And their whole idea of faith is skewed.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
Well, and we saw that just in the last 5 years. I mean, a huge portion of Christianity would not. It's not that they couldn't. They chose not to believe that God would use a man like Trump, regardless of all the prophecies, regardless of all the proof texts, regardless of, I mean, when you start believing that God can't do whatever God wants to do with whatever and whoever, wow, you've set yourself up pretty high, haven't you? Right? I know God's heart. I know God's mind. God would never do that. God would never use that person. That contradicts and conflicts with the Bible. That he's not godly. he's a sexual this and that, and he's this and this and that, and he's divorced and this. He's not even a Christian. God would never use a non-Christian. And it's like, have you ever read the Bible? Well, I don't believe in the New Testament. Well, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, it doesn't mean that God wouldn't be God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, what they're actually saying is, I don't trust God.
Right.
Because my God wouldn't use a Trump. Because my God isn't that. That's not my God. My God would never do that.
You talk about religious spirit.
And that's exactly
on
what
both
Korah
sides of the aisle, both Torah and Christianity.
Right.
Oh my God.
And that's exactly what Korah did.
Yep. Exactly.
For the betterment of the people, we have to remove Moses from leadership because he's an unfit leader and he's made himself Lord over us. He's made himself Lord over us. He didn't believe that God would use a man like Moses. God would never use a man like Moses. Look at Moses. We've been out here for how long? Where's my land? Where's my inheritance? Where's my sheep and cattle? They said those things. You haven't delivered, Moses. You promised us a promised land, and we're out here in the desert eating crap called manna, and we don't know when we're going to get water next. You're an unfit leader. And
I guarantee you, Korah was also in high judgment against Aaron.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because remember what Moses said? Oh, and now you want the priesthood too? Oh, you Levites have overstepped your bounds. Because Aaron is the priesthood. The Levites supported the priesthood. Yeah. And the Levites rebelled. Oh, it was a...
Do you know there's so much in that little almond that budded on that staff? People don't realize that, you know, they call it the divine fruit. The reality about that almond was on the outer shell, what's inside is just so much more magnificent because it's pure protein. And the reality is it's just a picture of humanity too. And it's a picture of Yeshua. And when they looked at Aaron, he was one of those imperfect priests. And Korah was just this magnificent, just like Satan. He wanted to shine, because he was probably more religious than anything else. And Korah got knocked up. Well, he got eaten up by Hades, shall I say?
And the same thing that we saw the last 4 or 5 years with Christianity is what Korah did. And it's like, I don't trust God. And if this is God, I really don't want a part of it. And I'm going to pick up a plaque with a 3-letter acronym instead. See, that's because that's what they did. I guarantee you, more than 75% of Christians that said no to Trump picked up that 3-letter acronym plaque and stood on the corners with their little white children in suburbia. They traded in the spirit of prophecy for a spirit of Marxism, spirit of Antichrist.
No,
it's insane.
Scary.
Terrifying. How do you come back from that, man? I mean, besides repenting, and these people don't feel like they need to repent.
Well, it says when the judgments of God are in the earth, and then men will learn righteousness.
They're intellectually superior to us, dumbasses that voted Trump. I love those memes that are out there. Everyone's a Christian, so everything starts getting biblical, and all your we've run out of conspiracy theories because they've all come true or whatever. They're all happening. It's crazy. We got alien stuff coming up, man. Did you see what I posted about the giant? It's amazing. At the 3-minute mark, it says something. You can be the giant too. I mean, whatever at that, I forgot what marker it is when they talk about the biggest selfie, whatever. Listen to what they say after the biggest selfie part. Wow. Somebody goes.
They're right now. They're trying to backpedal and dumb it down. The United States government.
Yeah. Someone
they're
says
really backpedaling right now.
Yeah. Someone said, please tell me this is the Babylon Bee. I'm like, I can't because it's not.
Yes.
Hey, this should be a very interesting season of the Basilisk with what all that's going on.
Wonder what it's going to hold.
You would think
There's
last
going to
year
be a
would
lot
be
of deception and lies. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you would have thought that last year would have been interesting, but it had already been. It was already in the It was already happening. We've had a bit of a lull. I think, like, what did I call it? A demonic lull. Something's going on. It's been a bit of kind of a lull, and now we're about to. I think we might be entering into a very interesting season of the Basilisk.
Yeah. It's still really quiet out there.
Yeah.
Really quiet. You know, they're coming up. Well, I better stay away from that theme. I can't say that.
Oh man,
we'll go to jail if I do.
Yeah, no one wants to go to jail. Well, yeah, prison sucks too.
Yeah. I like what Trimmer said yesterday. A Korah observant community. Yes.
Oh, a Korah observant community?
Yeah.
Jeez. I know, I gotta go talk to a bunch of them. I gotta go talk to a bunch of them in August.
Torah terrorists and the Shabbat police.
So what's the exact opposite of linen? That's what I should wear. Because there's some people that are pushing linen. So weird.
Animal skins.
Really? I should show up looking like, I don't have any dreads. I don't have any dreads. I could have shown up like, I could have,
Jeremiah Johnson, man, you're from that country.
I was never John the Baptist for Halloween.
Yeah, there you go.
With the dreads. Yeah, I could have been John the Baptist. I got to find something to trigger linen wearers. Oh my gosh. These poor
goat
people.
Skins.
These poor people. Oh, snakeskin. I could wear a full snakeskin outfit, head to toe. That'll really convince them that I'm part of the reptilian thingamajigger. Watch my eyes. I got the first time I was on that Now You See TV channel, people were saying that he's a reptilian. His church is called Chameleon Church. Oh my gosh. People are freaking insane.
Oh, that's funny.
People are crazy, man. People are just flat out. You're just flat out crazy. Why? Stop doing that. Go to Jesus. Oh man, you know what? That song by Chuck Girard. There's video of him playing it live at with Catherine Coleman and Chuck Smith.
Oh yeah.
Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Jesus. Just come back to Jesus, man. Don't make it all freaking weird about all your weird crap. Golly.
That's when the Jesus movement was innocent back then.
Oh my gosh.
That's all they wanted to know.
It was pure. It was pure and innocent. I remember it. I remember.
People would spontaneously speak in tongues and they never even heard of it before. Yep. And miracles would happen from that.
It's the last time we had a revival
yep.
in the U.S., in the West that I know of. A legitimate one. And it had nothing to do with man. It had everything to do with God. The last one, I believe, was in 2006 when it came to coming back to Torah. Some people say 2008. I saw it happening in 2006, but that's besides the point. What do I know? Yeah, the return to Torah 15 years ago. And I knew it was going to happen, where we're at now. Real sheep wear wool. That's our tagline. Sheep nip. We have 3 versions of sheep nip for you. Did somebody write these down? Let's write these down because we got to write these down. What are the name of those 3 versions of sheep nip? Here they are.
Kumbaya was one.
Well, that was the last one. Yeah. All right. We have 3 versions of Sheep Nip for you at the Planet Blue Media Store. Go Fa Bra, Ba Ram Yu, and Kumbaya. Sheep Nip, because real sheep wear wool.
There you go.
Oh God, we gotta do something. We gotta do something with that. Oh man. Hey, and while we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do with that,
You're listening to Chameleon Church. Biblical Antidotes for the Modern Man. With your host, Allan Aguirre.
The views and opinions expressed during our broadcasts are solely those of the broadcast producers, hosts, and/or guests, etc., and are not necessarily the views or opinions of the Travelog Network, its sponsors, or affiliates.